Destiny was a game intended for audiences that were fans of Call of Duty and Halo to rejoice in this game of high adventure and quality storytelling along with some immersive gameplay. This game ended up like my ass. The high adventure consisted of exploring barren worlds with little or nothing to do because of the lack of any concept to the actual game, and the story was anything but that. It consisted of vague cutscenes that made the whole game seem like it was for nothing. It was as if the developers just wanted to throw away $11 million. Yeah, you heard me right, this game costed $11 million to make and we got complete garbage. I mean, look at this. Is this really fun? Allow me to take the pleasure of answering this question? No, it wasn't. The best thing about Destiny was exploring their interpretations of planets on Jupiter on those flying motorcycle things. Other than that, and maybe its multiplayer mode, this game was a complete flop in my opinion. But Ryan, you didn't even mention the strikes and the difficulty of the game. Okay, shut the hell up. You want to see how difficult Destiny really is? Look at one of the first bosses you burst in the game. The difficulty was equivalent to how much health the boss had. It took me almost an hour to beat the first boss just because of how tanky it was. The strikes were basically the same thing throughout the entire game. All it was in the first game was you defending your little robot buddy and allowing him to hack into some things. Not only that, but I had numerous amounts of friends saying that you need to reach a certain level for Destiny to become a true masterpiece, but realistically, if you have to wait 20 levels in order to get to the meat of the first game, that isn't a masterpiece, that's a game with a terrible exposition, if you can even call it that. Name one character from Destiny 1 that had any development. I can't name one I got to level 19.
Well fought.
You're here.
We haven't got much time.
Who are you?
Why have you been watching us?
I don't even have time to explain why I don't have time to explain.
It may seem like I hate Destiny, and that's because I do. I felt as if I was cheated out of what could have been a great game. But the second game I absolutely adore. You know what the second game does? It actually has a complete story. You can actually understand what you're doing at all times and why you're doing it. Hey, you want to see a good beginning to a video game?
Need to find the speaker.
You want to see a bad beginning to a game?
Guardian? Eyes up, Guardian. It worked. You're alive. You don't know how long I've been looking for you. I'm a ghost. Actually, now I'm your ghost. And you, well, you've been dead a long time.
The gameplay is immersive and all the planets that you go to are completely beautiful. One thing to realize about Destiny though is that it's a game that constantly wants you to grind. It's usually about doing different missions to get different gear such as armors, guns, etc. If you don't like grinding, you might not like this game, but even I think grinding is boring, but for some reason this game always reels me back in, and I think the reason for that is the amount of ways you could level up and get new gear. You can do the main story, participate in public events in which players around the world come together and beat a boss, which actually has some difficult sense to it. You can also play the multiplayer mode, the Crucible in other words, which is actually very balanced and fun, other than the Mida. There's so much variety and that's what makes you not get tired of it, and all of it has a reason to play in the story. Also, by the way, the music in this game is done perfectly. I don't know who did it, but they did a wonderful job blending the mood to the music itself. Never once did I think it wasn't good. Also, there are points in the game where it really does just take your breath away. The final mission of the game was very memorable because of the sheer amount of detail to the art. Just thought I should mention that because those are probably the two things that are going to be overlooked. Are there flaws with the game? Yeah, of course. You know that cool motorcycle thing? You don't get that till you complete the main story or you reach level 20, both of which take a while. Not only that, but Activision has always have to find a way to make you spend more money. This time it's an expansion pass that allows you to level up farther than level 20, which I think is pretty dumb, and the first game did this too. How are you going to say to your fan base that you have to spend $35 more to get past level 20 after they just spent $60 on your game? Whatever, it's Activision, there's nothing you can really do about it. Other than that, I love Destiny 2, and if you weren't a fan of the first game like me, I would recommend giving this one a shot since there are many improvements made. Anyways, that's it. I'll see you guys next time when Destiny 3 releases.